Let us begin. It is a new day. Deku has woke up bright and early, and he is asking Bakugo one question. They have a set time and a set date. So he's going to release Bakugo, and he's going to get dressed, and he is also going to eat food and drink water. He's also getting his quirk back. And if he tries to run, he will be killed on the spot. But I'm issuing you a challenge. You have a copy of my quirk. You are also getting your own back. If you are able to fight me and kill me, actually keeping me dead, for more than 5 minutes, you will get one for all back. Not just that, I will turn myself into the authorities. All for One is saying that this is a very reckless and stupid idea, but he does not care. I did what he asked, and he's given me everything in return that I could ever ask for. Also, this is going to help destroy UA and their reputation in the process. So, I win. In the end, we all win. Either I come out of this and I finally die, or you come out of this alive with your quirk. And get one for all back with the ability to destroy the villains. Now, play along. What? You have seen what life is like if this all never happened. But I will ask you one thing. Trauma is a funny thing. I have died before Bakugo. When I was 4 years old and I jumped out that window, I didn't die on the operating table for however long. I met Lady Death. Who is Lady Death? You'll find out who that is if I win. But just know this. We are basically brothers. Mitsuki is like another mother to me. After losing Inko, it was hard. The league is all I had. But now I have Toga back. So, if I win, just know I will not be going after your mom or your dad. They have been the best people I could ever know. Now, this is whenever Deku would immediately open up a portal, and they would both land right outside of UA. But, actually no, hang on, I'm sorry. All for One will walk over, give Bakugo back his quirk. Bakugo would immediately try and blast an explosion, but Kirigiri would just send them both through a portal right in front of UA. This confuses Bakugo as Deku immediately tells him not to get distracted, as he begins rushing towards him, trying to fight him. He is not using one for all. He tells Bakugo to go all out and try and win. Otherwise, he will kill everyone here. As he pulls out a switch, he says that if he wanted to, he can detonate a device to destroy this entire block. So, fight him like his life depends on it, because it does. As Bakugo actually charges forward towards Deku, and they would begin fighting. People would see this, and they would actually run over, trying to figure out what's going on, as Deku has part of his face covered. He's smacking and kicking around Bakugo, and Bakugo's just blowing explosions at him. As soon as one of these actually hit Deku's face, people would watch as the flesh around it is actually just burning off, and Deku's screaming, which confuses them as they think they need to break this up. Deku would immediately just regrow it and begin fighting again. As people watch as Deku slashes at him with blades and actually tries to break limbs, along with sending Bakugo through a couple walls, breaking a lot of his ribs, as he just regenerates also. Bakugo would try throwing more explosions at him, but Deku just keeps throwing as much power back at him as possible. Bakugo says that this is very annoying. You know that, right? Deku says that he doesn't care as he would kick Bakugo through a wall, breaking his neck. And he would actually run in, stabbing him in the heart, killing him for about 10 seconds. Bakugo would fall, and he would finally hit something as he opens his eyes and he sees a woman extending her hand to him, saying that Midoriya has a message for you, as he'd be yanked back to reality, waking up, actually gasping for air as he pulls the knife out of his chest, shouting, "What the hell?" And he would immediately look at Deku, realizing that, okay, I get it now. And they would begin fighting once again. Deku, at this point, would actually just be fighting with Bakugo, and this would go on for about 10 to an hour. 10 minutes to an hour. With heroes trying to interrupt their fight, but All For One making his presence known, saying that that boy is the one who killed All Might, and in fact, he has a bomb placed around the entire area. Now, as soon as this happens, Deku is actually still fighting with Bakugo, and at this point, they are just using knives, swords, or whatever they can find, or whatever Deku can make. And Deku is just doing this, fighting with him and actually just killing each other over and over again. All For One thinks that Deku's crazy, and Deku finally does one thing. He says that it's time to actually finish this as he turns on full counting, saying that this quirk is very weird and he can't really get the hang of it, but he'll at least try, as he powers himself up to at least 5%. Bakugo says he thought he wasn't going to use that, but Deku just says, well, he wasn't, but weapons and firearms are not fun. So, do you really care? Bakugo would just laugh, saying no he doesn't, he stopped caring a long time ago. As these two would just begin fighting again. While this is going on, people are watching this, and they would actually see Deku kick Bakugo through an actual part of the building in UA. As students go running out of the classroom, and teachers see Deku walk in. He is still wearing his red hoodie, and this is whenever they would associate him with the man who killed All Might. Trying to stop him, but Deku would immediately just take out a gun, firing into the teacher's head, killing him. Saying sorry for the interruption, now let us continue. Bakugo gets mad, saying that he just can't go killing people. Deku just says, why? Ever since he lost Toga, that's all he was doing. Don't you remember? I cut off All Might's head. Now fight me, Bakugo. Fight me at your best. As these two would continue. It gets to the point where Bakugo gets so angry that he just lets loose as much power as he can, blowing explosions bigger than the one at the sports festival, destroying and collapsing parts of the building, as anytime he just blows his off, the muscles in his arms just regenerate so he can just keep blowing and blowing them off as much as possible. As Deku would pull out a quirk erasing knife, stabbing it upwards into Bakugo's head, and one through his heart. He would tell Bakugo he's sorry, but this is the only way both of them can come out alive. He would whisper this to Bakugo as he just drives the knife deeper and deeper, and Bakugo would just fall down backwards. While he's falling, Deku actually opens up a portal, and Bakugo falls through it. As Deku just looks around, sees everyone, and he actually goes to fall through the portal, but he gives a thumbs up. All For One would immediately just disappear through a purple portal. Deku would disappear, and the entire building would explode, along with the entire city block, killing off as many heroes that were there. Now, as this happened, Deku is actually thinking as he would arrive back at the base. They're asking him where Bakugo's body is, and Deku would say he's keeping it as a trophy. So, it's just going to be in his armory. What do you mean armory, kid? Well, I mean this. He would stretch out his hand, pull out a soda, and just... I can pull anything out of anywhere. Where do you even get that? I don't know. I don't know where a lot of the stuff in there comes from. So you just drink it? Well, what else am I supposed to do with it? You know, whenever I think you're not crazy, you just get crazier. Well, you gotta remember, I meet Lady Death at the crossroads every single time I die. Wait, Death is a woman? Yes. Okay, something I did not know. Which is whenever Shigaraki and All For One would actually walk over, congratulating Deku on his victory, and Toga would just say, so he finally did it. Deku would say yes, and that was actually broadcasted. Twice would actually say that it was a pretty good victory, but the best part was whenever you just see him fall through the portal, and the recording cuts. That's his personal favorite. Along with Muscular actually walking over to Deku, saying he's seen better fights, but the execution was actually pretty good. So he earns his respect, as he would shake Deku's hand. Now, let us cut over to Bakugo. Bakugo is falling and he would meet Lady Death once again, actually asking her where he is, and who she even is. Deku said that you are... She would just say that Deku calls her Lady Death, which is quite accurate actually. So, I am here to take you to heaven or hell, but it seems you possess the same power that young boy has. If not, the exact power. Now, one thing he did do is he actually stabbed you in the heart with these quirk, as you call them, human, erasing knives. Now, one thing I can tell is you're not going to be here for very long. So ask as many questions as you can, and I will give you what Deku told me to tell you. What? Yes, in fact, he spent quite a bit of time dead just so he can get every piece of information possible you wanted to know. Well, first off, I want to know how this all started. Well, whenever he was a young boy, before any of this started, he died on the operating table the day he manifested his quirk. Now, after that, he has been dealing with quite a bit of trauma. Dying and coming back to life isn't exactly something the human mind can handle. In fact, it creates barriers, and it actually tries to forget these experiences. But after that boy lost the one person he loved, he kept trying over and over again until he drove himself to the point of insanity. Which is whenever he figured out one thing that he never really thought about. The reason why normal people don't really care about others sometimes is because they think it's a hero's job to care. So, you humans are actually losing that ability. Deku, however, after finding the League, thought that they might be his best bet, because they provided him with this, as she would actually show him a picture, if not the exact thing that happened back on that bridge. All For One presenting Deku with a fake toga, basically a soulless puppet. And she would then begin showing Bakugo every single thing Deku's been up to that point, including the conversation in the forest Deku and Toga were having, along with actually handing over a journal that Deku just has written down saying, "Wake up." As Bakugo wakes up, he actually finds the knives in his chest and he begins pulling them out. As he pulls that out, he actually begins gasping for air as he finds himself in a very big white void. This void is quite weird because as soon as he goes to move, this is whenever lines and lines of firearms, weapons, gadgets, and everything you can think of just formal around him, creating a room. This confuses him as he walks over to the table, picking up the journal. He would do so, and he would find a note from Deku, saying quite a lot of people have been dying, but he plans to keep a happy ending. The narrator had a good idea, but he's going on his own path now. Baku would say, that's right, the narrator, as he looks around, seeing no one there. He knows who the narrator is, but he just doesn't try to acknowledge it, thinking every single thing he's seen Deku do makes complete sense. But one thing he still can't get over is that if they don't exist, then why are they even here? This would piss Baku off as he's still waiting. As Deku walks into his own armory, telling Baku that this is quite a bit of a surprise. What do you mean? Well, I've left you here for 2 weeks and you already found the room. I just woke up. Oh yeah, that's right. After pulling that knife out of your brain, your body kind of just... So, I had to rely on something. What do you mean rely? Well, the knife in your heart kept you dead for a while, so this is going to be a bit harder to explain. 2 weeks have passed, UA's destroyed, the school's reputation is gone, and all the heroes that were there in Japan that day died. Because they gathered to watch our fight. Now, this basically took out an entire city block with the explosion, and the fire took down at least another 2. So I will tell you one thing. I'm trying to create a happy ending that no one can stop. Not even me. Not even Toga. So, my plan is to kill All for One. How are you going to do that? Well, I already have that idea in my head, but this is executing it is going to be a bit harder. Now, Shigaraki, that guy with the hands on his face, who's finally wearing the fucking chapstick, has been trying to figure out his own quirk. From what I can tell, he has repressed memories, so I've been pulling them out of him slowly. And his quirk has been noticeably getting stronger. In fact, he touched something today, and the thing around it was actually the king also. So I have an idea. This guy overall produces these quirk erasing and quirk enhancing items. So I'm going to try and get as much as that, give it to Toga and me, so she can copy mine. Well, my theory is that she can copy my quirk. Not one for all or all for one, but she may be able to copy my regeneration. Basically, my regenerative immortality. So, this is going to be a bit harder to do. Basically, they think you're dead. So, I'm giving you an option, Bakugo. LA, in America, or somewhere else. What do you mean LA? Well, this is where I plan on moving to. Alright, let's go. As Deku would open a portal to LA and actually drop Bakugo off, saying that essentially here is this and here is $1,000 in US currency. Him and Toga will be here soon, but just... I hope we can still be friends after this, Bakugo. Dude, we're family, no matter how fucked up things get. At least we're alive. But give this to my mom. As he would immediately begin looking around, and he thinks just, hang on. He walks back in, writing a note, saying hand it to his mom. Which Deku would actually just put this note next to Mitsuki as she's crying in Bakugo's room. Mitsuki's confused as she would see Deku's hand actually jump backwards back into the portal, and she would actually open the note, reading, I'm alive, old hag, I'm just in a different... I'm in I'm over in America. Which she's kind of confused about, but actually acknowledges it. As Deku would also be talking with Bakugo more, they are thinking, well, you're basically dead, so you need a new name. Figure that out, and I hope you have a good time here, man. Uh, yeah, I'll see you later, man. As Bakugo begins walking away. Now, this is where I'm going to be leaving this part off of, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, have an amazing day, and I hope you enjoyed.